Alright, so welcome to Dust Off the Cartridge Special Editions, that what we're calling this? So Pokemon just dropped some brand new information. You know, me and Marcus were excited about this. So how we're going to do this is I'm going to run off some new information, then we're going to react to it. So let's start with Gynomaxing, which is a brand new type of Dynamaxing, which is basically in what happens, for those of you guys who don't remember, Dynamaxing makes every Pokemon bigger. With Gynomaxing, it makes the Pokemon bigger and they get a new special form similar to Mega Evolutions. Marcus, how do you feel about this?
I like it. It reminds me a lot of Pokemon Go with the raids, so I'm very excited about this. And the opportunity to be able to take down Pokemon who are necessarily not strong, but when they go to their gigantic form, they are strong.
All right, and then they also released a brand new Pokemon. It's called El Creme or Acreme. It's based off of whipped cream.
Yeah,
it is a fairy type. Now, Marcus, I know you don't have experience or a lot of experience dealing with fairy types, so how are you feeling about them coming into this new generation?
I like it, but I will say it actually. Do you remember those? It was like a swirly strawberry cream peppermint, but it wasn't a peppermint. It was like a cream, and it was in like a circle, but it's in the shape of a peppermint.
Okay,
that's what this Pokemon reminds me of. But I'm very excited for the chance to be able to battle with the Pokemon of this type, especially its Gigantic Evolution, because it looks like a giant cake, and that's an opportunity for me. Like, you know, I always love cake. I'm a fat guy, so.
We also got a Yamper. Now, we saw a little bit of him at E3. He is a electric corgi, and the internet has already been in love with him for months. So how are you feeling about this guy?
So I don't necessarily like Yamper, but I'm sure I'm going to like its evolution if it does evolve, just because it's a very sweet and cuddly type of electric Pokemon, such as Pikachu. But when it does evolve, it turns into like a fierce Pokemon like Raichu. So I'm definitely excited to see it.
All right, and the final Pokemon released today is Rhyhorly. Is a cold.
Oh wait, there's two more.
Rhyhorly is a cold rock Pokemon. So how are you feeling about that?
Rhyhorly looks like he looks like an engine, like not like a car engine. He looks like a train engine, like coal.
Now, what were the other two you were talking about?
The only other Pokemon that I have was Duraludon.
Duraludon.
It was the steel and dragon type.
Oh yes, I remember him. He definitely gonna be this region's
Dragonite
dragon type. He looks very interesting. I'm interested to see where he goes. We also learned a little bit more about the trainers. So from what we've seen, there's going to be sponsorship in this game as opposed to other games, just because it seems like training is more of a sport set up by a new Pokemon named Chairman Rose, and he is helped by his assistant Olita Rose. How are you feeling about these Pokemon and their design? Well, these trainers and their designs.
I actually like Chairman Rose and Olina. I feel like it adds another dimension to this Galar region, but I hope they don't go to the tired trap where Rose turns out to be evil.
I think they're both evil.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I as just like a person who has enjoyed Pokemon for nearly 30 years, or not 30, for 20 years, I would definitely enjoy them not going to that well again. I would like Chair to be a straight up guy.
So we also got two new characters. We've got Bea, which is a fighting gym leader for Pokemon Sword. Another black woman, honestly. I'll be honest with you, Marcus, from what we're seeing, Pokemon's putting in a lot of black, especially black female power, black female energy into this game. We got Bea, we got Ness with the water type gym leaders, and I'm really loving it. The character,
no, for sure. It looks like they are trying to actually reflect the world around them. So I'm always down with inclusion and diversity, and this is just the first step.
Yeah. Character design on this game, I think, is really 100%. We also got Alstair, which is the Ghost-type gym leader.
Alistair,
which is the Ghost-type gym leader for Pokémon Shield. Now, this is a very big difference in... we've seen this in Black and White, of course, the greatest Pokemon game, where they've had version-exclusive gym leaders. So in this game, they have 2 version-exclusive gym leaders. How do you feel about this, Marcus?
I think it's a dope experience just for the trainer and just for the Pokemon community in general. Just because when you're meeting up with your friends or with other players and you're like, hey, I played this gym leader, and they're like, oh, well, this is what I did against this gym leader. Hey, well, you can't beat this gym leader. Let me use the Pokemon that I beat this gym leader with against the Pokemon you beat this gym leader with. So it just continues to have like a community and grows the community of the Pokemon.
Speaking of that community, now I know, Marcus, you might not be as in tune to this as possible. Ever since Pokemon has announced that the National Dex is not coming to this new Pokemon game, they have been receiving just mountains of backlash. You just open a Pokemon tweet, it's just a bunch of people hashtagging bring back National Dex and just arguments over this. How do you feel about this as a whole?
I feel like Game Freak and Nintendo shouldn't have responded at all, just because even when you look at the anime, every time Ash goes to a new region, he doesn't bring those same Pokemon with him. He has to start fresh. He has to start over. So I feel like this iteration isn't that big of a deal. But what I will say is, with the Nintendo Switch, they have the opportunity to actually have DLC content. And so I would love to see like a season pass or a DLC where you have the opportunity to bring in those Pokemon, or to even catch Pokemon from previous games.
For me, honestly, I gotta say it's exhausting dealing with these people. Because Game Freak catches a lot of flack. People have been saying that this is just an upgraded 3DS game, which multiple people have pointed out that it's not. And even if it is, it still looks very amazing. And to me, just dealing with these people who are just yelling at this company, saying like, you're lazy, you're not doing anything, you're just being greedy. Meanwhile, we have Activision, you have EA, you have Ubisoft, you have Bethesda out here. Bethesda putting Skyrim on they literally put Skyrim on Alexa, but Game Freak is getting yelled at despite the fact that they continually release, even if you say that the Pokemon games are repetitive, they're still fun, there's still new stuff in there, and you're just yelling at them. It exhausts me to the point to where it makes me not enjoy the community at all.
Right.
And honestly, at this point, I don't know if I would engage with any community-based activities in this game whatsoever.
Nah, for sure. So just to wrap up, what game are you looking more forward to? Are you looking more forward to Sword, or are you looking more forward to Shield?
I'm definitely more in the Sword category at this
point. So why are you more Sword?
I'm more Sword just because of what I've seen of Sword I've liked. Sword is the only one that has Bea, which I liked her as a gym leader. I like the main legendary for Sword so far. So I'm really looking towards Sword, and I'm saying I really like this a lot more than Shield is. Okay,
I will say that the public seems to be swaying more towards Sword, but I feel like more of the exclusive Pokemon will be on Shield, just because that's how Pokemon and Game Freak and Nintendo act.
Well, it will be even. So yeah. They have announced some of the exclusive Pokemon. I know today I saw that they announced that Dino and it was like Dino and Dragonite are going to be exclusive to Sword, and Goondra and another Dragon type is going to be exclusive to Shield. So they're very much rounding this out, as they always tend to do. I am excited to see what else they do with these games. Now, what I will say with this, Marcus, you brought up the notion of DLC.
Yes.
I will give you a second option in this ideal. We are due for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes. Now, I know you did not play those games.
No, I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, those are some of my favorite regions. Would you be okay if instead of adding the Pokemon in immediately, they waited until the Diamond and Pearl remakes came out and then they just added a patch?
No, I'd rather just have the DLC content, just because more bang for your buck and actually just give loyal fans what they want. So
that is true. Although I will say this for the sake of our audience yelling and screaming. Pokemon hasn't done DLC, but they have done DLC episodes.
Yeah,
I know the most my favorite ones was in Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby with the Delta episode, which was very amazing.
And even with the Pokemon Master, isn't it Pokemon Masters trailer?
The Pokemon Masters app?
Yes, and that's coming out
sometime this summer, I believe.
Yeah, and so that's just another incentive with the anniversary and all that. So I feel like Game Freak and Nintendo know what they are doing, and so we can't rush them too much. But one thing I will say that I'm looking forward to with Sword and Shield is no more hand holding. They threw that out the window. They said, "Hey, we're not holding your hands anymore. You actually have the opportunity to go into grass areas where your Pokemon may not be strong enough yet." But
I wouldn't back that up because I played the last few games and they were very. That is one of the biggest criticisms of
for sure. Moves. It just looks like this one isn't as hand holding.
Now, what I would say in the retrospect when we're looking towards the future and the other games, I'm sort of losing. So we have Pokemon Masters coming up. We have Pokemon Sword and Shield, and of course, Game Freak is building up all this hype towards this, and they have other projects. But what I will say is, with the National Dex, Pokemon fans are very upset.
Right.
However, when you look at other genres, other games in this exact same genre, to use the most famous one, of course, Digimon.
Right.
They never transferred over Digimon from game to game. Would you be okay if Pokemon decided from now on we're limiting the amount of Pokemon that are in each game?
No, I'd be fine with that. I feel like it gives you more of an incentive to catch all the Pokemon, and that's the goal, to catch them all. And so when you catch them all in one game, you have to go and get the other.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about as much as we can talk about right now.
No, for sure. So just to really close out this time, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Pokemon Sword and Shield?
Just based on my own hype and my own excitement about the game, every time I look at the game, I'm just thinking to myself, I want to be playing this. No matter what games I'm playing, I'm just thinking, this is the game I want to be playing. So on a personal reason, I would just say I'm all the way up.
Okay. I would say I'm on about 8 out of 10. So, yeah, that's about it. So thank you for listening. We have a lot of content coming out in the upcoming weeks. We have our Cloak and Dagger review. I also would be doing a Nintendo Switch summer gameplay review of some of the games I've been playing this summer, such as Dragon Ball Z World, Mario Maker, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. So look out for that. Morgan, do you have anything coming up?
No.
Okay, and once again, make sure you are following us on all social media platforms. Follow Morgan at MetroMeta26. Follow me at OneMarcusFlowers. Follow us on Twitter at 26NG. Follow us on Instagram at 26andGlencoe. Follow us on Facebook at 26andGlencoe Media Network. And make sure you are following us on YouTube at 26andGlencoe Media Network. We have an exclusive video coming out very soon, so make sure you are tuned for that. And until next time.